Hey everybody, Shakir, welcome back to Glow Beauty Wellness here on YouTube. And in today's video, we are talking about trad wives. We're talking about the trad wife trend. And so let's start off by defining what a trad wife is. So we have here that a trad wife, shorthand for traditional wife, this is for anybody that doesn't know what it is, doesn't refer to your ordinary stay-at-home mom. The trad wife is eerily perfect. Her home is spotless. Her makeup is on point. She makes nearly everything from scratch, usually in a perfect dress. NPR.org. I don't know what that is. What is the difference between a housewife and a trad wife? Trad wives is a subculture of housewives who believe in clear gender roles, the importance of homemaking, and patriarchal marriage, according to many women who self-identify as trad wives. That's from Fox LA. So I watched other videos as well of trad wives and ex-trad wives that were part of like the Mormon community, and a lot of ladies kind of giving their horror stories, or like, don't do this, don't be like me. And I follow this girl, this really beautiful model by the name of Nara Smith, who is married to a Mormon man. She is German. He's Caucasian. She's beautiful. They're a beautiful couple. And I guess that their happiness and her aesthetic is causing some problems, is ruffling some feathers because of this whole trad wife thing. So if you watch her videos, she is very beautiful. She's pregnant right now. She's making everything handmade. And I'm like, damn, she's making bagels. And I watched a video where she was making like goldfish, from scratch because she doesn't feed her children goldfish. And she was making bagels from scratch. She makes a lot of things from scratch. Her husband. And anyways, they just look, it's the aesthetic, right? And the sad thing here is that a lot of people don't understand the fact that the internet is fantasy world, and people are going to post the things that will get the conversation going, right? I'm trying to fix my hair, but it's not working. Anyways, they're going to post the things that are aesthetically pleasing, and it's for most people just outside of what you can normally do on a day, in terms of making fresh bread. I'm like, dang, I found myself feeling like, damn, I should make some fresh bread, but I'm not going to. So the thing about this whole trend is that you can choose to adopt the lifestyle or not, or you can also choose to understand that a lot of the things that we see on the internet simply are just not true. Like, a lot of people do what they do on the internet in terms of content creation in order to make money. So if you think about it, not all of these wives are trad wives. I mean, they're not. It's the aesthetic. It's like a movie. It's like reality TV where it's real, but it's fantasy. You understand? This one comment said it so well. People forget that the influencer trad wife aren't traditional trad wives. They are influencers. That's their job and how they make their money. Another commenter said, trad wife is cosplay. It's not how women actually lived in the 50s. If it were so great, why was the 60s such a movement? They weren't happy with their roles. I need a fan. So it's really concerning for me. It's like people don't have common sense to understand that they're putting this content out there for the controversy. Do the wives probably do the most for their family? Yeah, I mean, I like to do the most for my family. I like to cook. I like to keep my house clean. I like to cater to my husband. But I'm not a freaking doormat. When I'm tired, I don't do certain things, and he will pick up the slack for me, where, in my regular day to day, I'm like, I'm doing that, I'm doing this. And he may see that I'm tired and, handle it. So that's how it typically is in real life. And I'm going to address these other ladies who are telling their horror stories. So there was one lady who said she was of Mormon faith. Her faith told her that she should not work. So she had a business that was very successful that she started. But because the faith says hey, you're a woman, you're not supposed to work. She gave the whole business to her husband. She never got any, and she worked for the business, like at home. She did marketing, so on and so forth. So she was the stay-at-home mom, and then she did, the work from home thing. But she never got a paycheck. She never, long story short, by the time she ended up divorcing, her and her husband divorced, he was not paying alimony regularly. He was not paying child support regularly. She had no money. She had no savings. She had nothing. She was on her ass after being married for like 20 plus years. So to situations like that, I say if you cannot be afraid to talk to your spouse about money. And I would say this has to start before you get married. I know a lot of times people are getting married in their 20s, and then they don't have their voice, and their husbands are just doing what they do, and their religion says, hey, the man gets to say how money is going to be spent, so on and so forth. You have to have a voice. You have to have people advocating for you. If you're going to be a stay-at-home mom, if you're not going to work a traditional job, then you need to be on life insurance policies, pensions, all of those things. You need to have all your ducks in a row so that when you are 40, 50 plus, you're not at the food stamp line or trying to get Section 8 because you trusted your spouse, which you should be able to trust your spouse. But one of my points that I have here is like you have to have your rainy day fund. This woman also said that like they had a custom home business where she spent 2 years building a custom home, and once it was sold, they made $200,000 on it, and she didn't get nothing out of it. All she wanted was a piano, and she didn't even get that. So you have to set yourself up financially. You need to have bank accounts. A lot of these ladies are saying they didn't have bank accounts. You need to have a bank account. You need to have some sort of savings. You need to have an allowance. You need to have something just in case. We are not preparing for a divorce or separation, but we are just being financially healthy, right? We want to make sure, what if, okay, y'all stay together forever, but he drops dead. Then what? Your name is not on anything. You don't have any securities. You don't have anything. So you have to get those things in place before you get married. You have to have conversations before you get married, and you cannot be afraid to talk to your spouse, your partner. If you cannot talk to your spouse, your partner about what it is you need and what makes you feel safe, you are marrying the wrong person. Okay, so a few points that I had. Everybody's situation is different. The reason why ladies go into traditional roles, and I'm in a traditional role type marriage. Some people are in traditional marriages because of their religion. Some people just like to be in a certain role. I have always been very clear in terms of the gender roles. I want to do this. This is my role. This is your role. And I married the person that's in agreement. I would say that it's important to marry somebody that's in agreement and where, you have these agreements before marriage and you have a plan before marriage. That way you're not, surprised by anything in the future. Save money. Have a savings account, a Roth IRA, something to where you have money for an emergency, retirement, or whatever. We are early in our marriage, but we have established all of these things. You have to have savings accounts. You have to have bank accounts. You have to have retirement accounts. You have to think about your future just in case. Not just in case he might leave me, I might leave him, but just in case he might drop dead or something like that. If something happens to me, my husband's going to be fine. But we have talked about what it is I want done with my physical body should something happen. Same thing. How, cremation, funeral, whatever, power of attorney, wills, have all of these things in place. That way nobody is scrambling when the inevitable happens. Always keep yourself first. You have to always put yourself first. I see this a lot with women where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, and I'm so selfless and da 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 da. Well, selfless women soon become resentful. And I think that rightfully so, some of these ladies are like resentful that their husbands got to, run off into the sunset with all of the money while they were just so trusting and loyal. And I don't need any money. You do need money. Not asking for money doesn't make you disloyal. Not asking for money makes you foolish. Not asking for provision so that you are okay, so you can sleep good at night. And most of these men out here aren't even healthy. They're a heart attack away from where. So it's like, if you don't set yourself up, and not just that, men get poached by women all the time. So you need to have your own. Okay. You also need to have, so keep yourself first. I would say that's your first thing. Put yourself first. Think about what you need just in case shit hits the fan. I talked about having a bank account. Have a bank account, a couple of bank accounts. Ask him to open up an account for you. Y'all can have a joint account, an account that's just yours. That's the just in case account. We've talked about, me and my husband. This is the just in case account, and we need to put a set amount of money in there every month so that just in case something happens, we're good to go. I have access to accounts and all that. Credit cards, business accounts. You have to make sure you're good to go just in case. You need to educate yourself. So whether it is a traditional education, as in you went to a university or a college or something like that, 2-year degree, 4-year degree, whatever, you need to have a way to make money should something happen. And a great thing to do is, like, while you are at home, find some way to make money online. Oh, that's my phone. Find a way to make money online. What is your hobby? What do you love to do? Or find a way to have, bring business to your house. Maybe you do hair. Maybe whatever. Find something that is going to bring money into the house that you can keep. And you should have married somebody that's not even going to want your money. My husband doesn't ask me to pay for anything or to do anything. So you want to get with somebody that has that mindset as well. That way this is not an issue. And that all circles back to speak your mind. Speak your mind in the beginning, because you have to start out how you're going to be able to hold out over time. If you start out timid and shy about what it is that you want, and then magically you watch some videos on YouTube and now you want, this certain lifestyle, your husband's going to be like, what the hell? That's not what you said before. So you need to have a way. You need to be thinking about your future. You need to be thinking about education in the very beginning. If you're a young girl watching this and all this other content that is scaring you away from wanting a traditional gender role relationship, have all these things set up in the beginning. Speak your mind in the beginning. That way you're not backtracking and saying, oh, well, I thought. But that is confusing to men. That is confusing to the masculine. So I would say that, there are some very unfortunate stories for some of these ladies that were traditional housewives that really sacrificed themselves for the sake of their family, which is admirable, which I love it, because I love being a mom and I love being a wife. And I perform those two roles very well. And I would not change anything about my life. However, there are different ways to do things. And the most important thing is to keep yourself first and speak your mind. And when I say keep yourself first, I don't mean forget everybody else. What I mean is you have to think about your future. You have to think about what if, not what if this doesn't work out? What if something happens? Because the reality is, like I said earlier, people could drop dead. We don't know. But if something were to happen, you need to have access to bank accounts. You need to have access to savings accounts. You need to know what your next move is. You need to have passcodes and all those things. And if you don't have those things, then yeah, the trad wife to food stamp pipeline, you have your ticket there if you're not setting yourself up for success. Period. So it's all up to you. I hate that there's so many, young girls who haven't had any experience with this, talking about this. And not only that, you have other older women who didn't do it the right way, who were married for 20 years and didn't speak their mind and didn't say, hey, I love being home with the family. I love this and I love that. But ain't no way in hell that my work sells for or makes a profit of $260,000 and I don't get nothing? No. And if your faith tells you shouldn't question that, that don't even make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. So I feel like you can have it all with the right person. So you can have the man that wants to be the provider and the protector and makes your life soft and enjoyable and leisurely. But you can also make sure you're good to go, and your husband should want you, or your spouse, whatever, should want you good to go no matter what. Your husband should not want you to, when you explain it to him, or your husband to be, you know, explain that I'm preparing to be with you for forever, but anything can happen. I need to have money. I need to have savings. I need to have access to accounts. I need to have my name on accounts. I need to have all our affairs in order just in case something happens that we are not expecting. And if he pushes back, he is not the one for you. It is true. Some men will use the financial piece to control, but ultimately you have the control. You say what's going to go and what's not going to go. And I need you to always remember that. So if you are seeking to have that traditional marriage, it's fine. You know, that's why getting off of TikTok and too many social media channels is really good, and why, you know, YouTube and Instagram are my vibe, because, you know, people in real life are living these type of lifestyles and are very happy. And like the one commenter said, the trad wives aesthetic is a job in itself. So these girls aren't really trad wives. It's like the fantasy that we like to watch, reality TV, which is not real. And also, it's like a movie. It's entertaining, it's captivating, and it has the world talking. So it can work out for you. Whatever you want can work out for you if you play your cards right. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.